On the northeastern coast of Spain sits one of the largest metropolises on the Mediterranean Sea. It's a city of breathtaking architecture, delicious food, and vibrant locals. But it's its storied history that really brings these things to life. Welcome to Barcelona. This is our family's first time in Spain. And in the 18 months that we've been traveling the world nonstop, if there's one thing we've learned, it's when you find a new city, the best way, the most efficient way to get to know it as quickly as possible is to hire a local guide. So today we have Christina, who's gonna take us on her Sights and Bites tour around the city for some food and some culture.
Christina is with Oh My Guide Tours in Barcelona, and she's gonna take us to see 6 bites and 6 sights.
So guys, we are here in front of Casa Batlló, and you see this very colorful building, so whimsical. In 1904, the great architect Antoni Gaudí restored that apartment building for Batlló family, who were textile entrepreneurs. They had companies. And can you see the other house just next to it? Yeah, the brownish one. That was designed by Josep Puig Cadafalch for Amatller family. And guess what they had? They had a factory of chocolate. So we're gonna go and we're gonna try some chocolate.
Even walking into this building necessitates a quick history lesson on the bravery of Barcelona's patron saint and local hero, Saint George.
It's a terrible monster, a big dragon. George was very brave, went there, and with his sword killed a dragon.
According to legend, he saved his princess by killing the dragon from whose blood grew a rose. That's why many locals consider St. George's Day, April 23rd, the Catalan Valentine's Day. When you've been making up to 11,000 kilos of chocolate per day for almost a quarter of a millennium, you better be pretty damn good at it. And Christina assures us that for our first stop here at Xocolata Amatller, we're about to experience something we've never tried before.
So we're gonna have some hot chocolate, but they call it eating hot chocolate, not drinking it, because, and I imagine it's because it's so thick. It's not like your typical hot chocolate that you drink at home. And we're gonna have some toasted bread on the side so that we can dip it and eat it together. Ooh, it is thick, huh? Wow, that is really thick. It's like a pudding.
That's the best hot chocolate I've ever had in my life. Hopefully that sugar's enough to offset the kids' jet lag until the next stop, because we're hitting the road and heading to a version of this city that's much, much older than this chocolate factory.
Barcelona actually started out as an old Roman town called Barcino, but it actually is a much longer, complex name than that I'm gonna let Christina tell you.
Colonia, Julia, Augusta, Favencia, Paterno, Barcino. It's just easier and it's totally fine to just call it Barcino.
One very unique thing about Barcelona in the downtown area here is you'll notice that all of the corners of the buildings are cut off at an angle. So you don't have any sharp corners, and that comes from a long time ago when they had a lot of streetcars coming through here. It made it easier to go around corners. I'm already in love with the architecture here. There's so much French influence. A lot of the stuff here seems so much newer than what we just saw in Florence, but it's every bit as beautiful. I love this place already.
We're at the old gates to the entrance of Barcino, but it's now called something more familiar. They call it the Gothic Quarter.
The first human settlements in Barcelona date back to Neolithic times, which sounds pretty old. Barcino is the first official predecessor to modern Barcelona and was founded by Romans at the end of the 1st century BC. The original colony of around 1,000 inhabitants was surrounded by a huge stone wall, and parts of it can still be seen around Old Town. In case you're wondering if everything in Barcelona is super ancient, let's head over to Vicens, a local confectionery that's precisely 1 year older than the good old US of A.
So these desserts originated as an Arab tradition, so Muslim tradition, but later on the Christians incorporated it in their Christmas tradition, which is what we have now, turrón.
So in layman terms, we're gonna taste some nougat.
This is almond soufflé with chocolate. This is polvorón with cinnamon. This is cocoa dye, which is made with coconut and passion fruit. This is pumpkin seeds with white chocolate, and marzipan with toasted egg yolk.
It's a Christmas tradition, and I chose the almond one and a little chocolate too. Oh, very hard.
It's a little bit like butterscotch.
With our nougat, we're gonna have some sweet wine.
That's really, really tasty. Very sweet, and I'm normally not a big fan of sweet wines, but something about being within the culture like this and actually trying it firsthand, it just tastes amazing. And this is from a paper cup, mind you.
That's tasty. That is very sweet, but it's still refreshing.
That's a good word for it.
Refreshing. All right, Christine. Christina's taken us to have some Pintxos, which is a style of food, and it's eaten with a toothpick. It's just a little bite with a little bread.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Always comes with a little bread. And you can eat tapas. Yeah, it's called a specific type of tapa from the Basque country, which is pincho. And it's right here.
Orio is a very social restaurant, designed around a huge Pintxos bar and high-top tables. The process of ordering Pintxos, which tend to be simpler bites than their tapas cousins, consists of taking your plate to the bar, unless you're already sitting at the bar, and requesting the bites that look the most delicious to you. The server places them on your plate and off you go.
I think we should be good.
Yeah.
They have a great wine cellar, so you can place that order here also.
These are called Pintxos because with the toothpick, it's like pinching. I am trying first. This is the tuna Pintxos. I'm not even sure what the white stuff on top is. Looks like a tuna salad. It is a tuna salad.
I'm gonna try this wine first. Cheers, baby. That's really good wine.
Yeah?
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try a shrimp. That's really good. And we've been having tapas for like decades, but never in Spain, never in Barcelona.
Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell because it's gonna show you when our tapas tour is available to view. Because next we're going on a tapas tour with Christina, so you don't wanna miss that. So in Barcelona, you don't get your check automatically to your table. You have to go up and ask them to come and bring it, and then they count the toothpicks to know how much to charge you. And probably also the empty wine glasses.
After that big bite, we're ready for the next site. So we're settling up here and heading back out onto the beautiful cobblestone streets.
We're in the main square here in the Gothic Quarter. It is Government Square, and we're learning that the flag of Catalonia, it has 4 red stripes that represent 4 streams of blood. Let's go. So much ancient history here. In the center of Barcino, there used to be a Roman temple, and so much has changed because this was over 1,000 years ago that a lot of it was lost. But this place was a home, and they realized that 2 of the columns from the original temple were in their living room.
It's crazy to think that some people still live right up here. So every day they can look out of their dining room windows and they're seeing this structure that's 2,000 years old.
Oh, how pretty. Yes, wow, looks like a castle.
This building was built again in the early 1900s, stone by stone. So when it was moved in here, they discovered what was underneath. And look at this, they excavated the King's Square, and they discovered Barcino underneath in the old Roman colony.
Okay, it's bite time and the kids are gonna like this place.
They have the oldest candy in Spain, La Colmena. Would you like to try?
The smell of sweetness hits you like a ton of bricks the moment you walk through the door. All these meringues, cookies, cakes, truffles, turtles, candies, and Lord knows what these things are. But I'm pretty sure I'm getting cavities just looking at them.
One of the oldest, if not the oldest, cake stores in Barcelona. It is about 173 years old, this business. And the owner is here today.
The current proprietor of this relatively young establishment is Josep Maria Roig, grandson of the couple who bought the shop in 1927.
Is this a family business?
Yes.
Family business?
Yes, yes.
So,
Before my grandfather,
Yeah?
3 owners before.
wow. So
Is
it's
the year 1868.
first owner in 1868. Wow.
Yeah.
So it's the same process of making the same candy, and it's just water, sugar, and then oils from different fruits and herbs. So this is a 17th century recipe that we're gonna be trying. I got honey for Phil, because he's my honey. And I got vanilla for me. Candy that's been made from this recipe for centuries. Oh, it's a hard candy, you got stuck on it.
One of the many must-see sites in Barcelona is Basilica de Santa Maria del Mar, a church in the Ribera district and built between 1329 and 1383.
This church was built in only 55 years. Actually, that's not a long time. Contrary to what you could think, in the 14th century it took way much longer, sometimes up to 200, 250 years in building such a church. And now We're gonna climb the towers.
All right, let's go burn some seas.
The story of the church's construction is illustrated in the novel by Ildefonso Falcones called The Cathedral of the Sea.
We're going into this little door here and burn those seas I've been talking about.
It's a spiral staircase.
Any fears you may have while climbing the tight winding stairs are tempered by the knowledge that this place has survived earthquakes, fires, and almost 700 years of Spanish history.
Halfway there.
And once you make it to the top, you're definitely rewarded for your effort.
Wow, you can see the whole city. Look, you can see La Sagrada over there.
This is a perfect time to give you a quick peek at La Sagrada Familia, by far the biggest tourist attraction in the city, and as Gaudi's most famous work, it's definitely one of the coolest places you'll find anywhere in the world. This is without a doubt the most beautiful building I've ever seen in my entire life. Second place doesn't even come close. So cool, in fact, that Gaudi himself was buried in the crypt after being hit and killed by a streetcar in 1926.
And this is what it looked like when Gaudi died. And that's when they predicted it would take another 100 years to finish. Doesn't look like that's gonna happen, especially because of COVID. But if you just imagine what it looked like when he died and where we are now, it's just incredible. And he envisioned the whole thing.
If you're enjoying this episode and planning a Barcelona visit yourself, feel free to download our complete itinerary for this trip and others at followabc.com/itineraries, or just click the link in the description below. The Basilica is large enough that you can easily spend a few hours taking it all in. And that means you'll probably be hungry by the time you're done, so why not try the pâtisserie that holds the title for the best chocolate cake in Europe, Bubo.
Bubo, that's fun to say. Bubo.
Bubo is equal parts pastry shop and art gallery. It feels like a sin to poke a fork into these little masterpieces. Luckily, you're just in front of Santa Maria Church, so you can beg forgiveness as soon as you walk out the door. I guess you could say they're the confections that lead to confessions.
Yummy. Got a little treat. Ooh, it looks like the cake parts at the bottom and on top
Inside
is
is like
kind of-
crunchy. Have
yeah.
you tried inside part? It's like a surprise. Like it's olive oil and it's crunchy.
Olive oil. That's the key to everything. Not your typical chocolate cake.
Sorry.
No problem. We're ending on a sweet note, and that concludes our Sights and Bites tour. So again, please follow us. It really helps our channel. We appreciate your support, and you're gonna love all the other stuff that we're doing. More tours in Spain and other places in the world.
After parting ways with Christina, who has been a phenomenal guide, by the way, we got ourselves cleaned up for a night on the town.
The kids are gonna get a little history lesson at the circus. We are going to Circ, Històric, Raluy. It's gonna be fun. Kids are gonna love it.
This is a traveling performance, currently touring throughout Catalonia. Like everything else here, it has a long history. In this case, spanning more than a century and now into the 5th generation of a family of artists. It's a combination of traditional circus and museum, featuring more than 40 carriages from the early 1900s, all original and continuously restored and maintained. It's like taking a brief trip back in time.